Hi everyone, today we're doing a colouring book review. This is called Fantasy Houses and it's by Carla. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that and get it completely wrong. There's the name of the lady who's drawn it, there's her website. It is a really nice book. It's quite small, it's really compact and you can take it out and about with you. I recently took it on a caravan holiday and I'll show you some of the colouring that I've done inside. But just so you've got the measurements, you're looking around about 9.5 inches by almost 7 inches. So it's not a big book, but it does pack a punch. So this is the book itself, the front and the back. It has a French flap on the inside, so no annoying dust jackets. That's one of my big hates with colouring books is removable dust jackets. You can see a bit of an illustration on the inside here and then the description of what a fantasy house is. And then we have the copyright info page and the title page. So fantasy houses are houses that are fantastical. So they would not exist. They are made from everyday kind of objects and things that you would never see a house made of. So there's where the fantasy bit comes in, and this is the index of all the fantasy houses that are included in this book. So we've got a percolator plaza, we've got the jukebox apartments, we have the cake residence, the jam villa, popcorn property, maison de mushroom, and the lipstick salon. So I'm absolutely loving all of the really original ideas that is in this book, and I love the fact that we've got the coloured examples as well. And you'll see as we go through that each and every single illustration has a fully coloured example sitting right next to it. So if you are new to colouring or you want to practice your different colour compositions and palettes and things, and you're not quite sure about stepping into an illustration off your own back with your own colour palettes, you could definitely use this as a practice book, use this as a reference so you can try and copy the colours that are used. If you want to use your own colours as well, you can do, and you can also use the little bit of shading and highlight guideline that you find within the coloured image. So it's really helpful and useful to have this right next door to the image that you are colouring. So I'll just go through all of the fantasy houses with you. I might just keep a look back at what they are so I don't forget. So this one's the apothecary cabinet, lots of lotions and potions. Then we have the barber shop, made from shampoo and hairspray. Again, just really amazingly unique, creative and imaginative ideas. Now, I love a colouring book that's just got single images like this to colour. Not, you know, tiny ones. I'm not talking small victories kind of size vignettes, which are absolutely beautiful. But I love a colouring book that has just an encapsulated image. It's all within the one theme and the one sort of object, if that makes sense. I think you know what I mean. Hope you do. So here's the post office. Again, fantastic colours used on this one. Then we've got the, I guess this would be like the vineyard, right? I should have kept my finger on that. Champagne Chateau. So 3 bottles of champagne with the grapes sort of curling their way around the neck of the bottle. And you can see the house here made up of little shutters and windows. And it's just really nice. It looks like somewhere you'd love to live if fantasy houses were a thing. So this one is all about shopping and fashion. It's the house that's made out of a bag and it's got the bow and the tag on it. And I love even the little, what would you call this? The little roof thing over the door, the little awning. Really cute. This is a spooky one. So this is one that I was obviously going to do first. I looked at it and I was like, yes, but I'm saving this for Halloween. This is going to be one of my Halloween colouring projects and I'm really excited about it. Cauldron and eyeballs, all that good stuff. Here's one that would be really good for obviously Christmas time. It's the hot cocoa mug and it's got those red and green Christmas colours and the candy cane and the whipped cream on top, and it just looks so, it's like a hug in a mug, isn't it, cocoa? And it's just so wintry and warm feeling. So This is the one that I was colouring in the caravan. Obviously I haven't finished it, but I do have all of the pencils still out ready to finish it. It is going to get done. It's just that this is all I had time for when I was in the caravan. I was using Woomer pencils on this because I wanted to try something a bit different. As you know, I'm in love with Prismacolor, and I do use different pencils, but Prismas are kind of my go-to. And I thought this time I'm going to try something different. So I'm using the Woomers. I love the Woomer pencils. I think for the price, they're fantastic. The blends are really good. Yeah, and you can see what I've achieved so far. I hope you like it. It's meant to be, obviously it's a jukebox, but I've done these colours because when you look up reference photos of jukeboxes online, you see this sort of blendy, bright neon to the edges of it and all of the details and stuff. I guess they're neon tubes, aren't they? But yeah, I just really love the blendy kind of rainbow look, but I've made this one really pastel. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing it, and I can't wait to carry on and finish it. Here's another wintry scene. Again, very Christmas, very festive. You've got the wreaths and the Christmas tree, the Christmas presents through the window, all the decorations. We've got Santa's sleigh full of gifts, a snowman, and this says it's the North Pole shop. So it's the Christmas shop. And I love how the drawings have been done, how the colouring's been done on this side. It's a really unique book. So this one is another one I considered doing as my first piece in the book because obviously it's art supplies, and if there's anything else I love other than spooky stuff, it's art supplies. So this is definitely one that's going to get coloured. I can see myself certainly doing a lot more pages in this book. Even though, you know, they're not tiny illustrations, they're not very intricate ones either. So it's not something that's going to take 5 minutes, but it's not something that's going to take weeks, you know, to finish. And I think you get that payoff really quickly with colouring books of this size and illustrations of this sort of detail level. How cute is this? It's a little farmyard barn Wellington boot and bucket. I adore it. Look at these little animals, little cow, sheep and piglet. I love it. Look, you can see they've even got a washing line held up between the birdhouse and the top of a shovel. And I love the strawberries hanging down and all the flowers and florals. I love this one. Good springtime illustration, that. Here's that lipstick salon. So it says kiss me and there's little lipsticks in the window as well. Lots of hearts and things. I think there's a lot of illustrations in this book that you can tie in with seasons and different days of the year. Obviously this would be one that I'd love to do around Valentine's Day if I was looking for something Valentine's-y to colour. And I think, like I said, you can apply these illustrations to different times of the year and things like that. Here's a milk carton. We don't generally have milk cartons in the UK, fun fact. We normally have plastic sort of gripped bottles of milk rather than cartons. I'm sure you can get cartons of milk in the shop, it's just they're more expensive. So I wouldn't know anything about them. But I think in America it's more common to get a carton of milk, isn't it? But then again, when I was in America, my family had these huge cartons of milk, not cartons like this, the ones that we have, the plastic with the handle, but they were massive. I think they get like 2 gallons or something at a time. And I just think, surely your milk's going to go off before you... Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, so let's carry on. Again, just a really cute illustration. It's very kawaii. This book gives me a kawaii feel too. We've got the carrots and potatoes and the milk churn and the lemons, the little orange tree, even the little lantern. I think everything about these is so cute. Here's definitely could be an autumn illustration. You've got the toadstool houses. We've seen toadstool houses before. This is not a new concept, but I just really I like everything about this book. In fact, there's one thing I don't like about it, which I'll get onto in a minute. But as far as the illustrations go, adore it. Look at all these pots and pans. This is called the cuisine house or shop, and all of these pans are stacked on top of one another, and they are little houses in their own right. Even the colander has a purpose to serve, holding the lantern at the top. Yeah, love it. Here's the coffee percolator house. This one's giving French vibes. Again, something that I would probably colour in springtime. Probably because of the daisies, I don't know. That's the feel that I'm getting. Here's another, obviously, autumn one or a Halloween time one. We've got the pumpkin house. And again, this is not necessarily a unique idea, but I love the way the pumpkins are stacked on top of each other and they're separate houses, separate dwellings. Even if this is the upstairs and this is the downstairs, actually, it might all be one dwelling. I think that makes more sense, seeing as we've only got one door number. Should have been 13. I think Carla missed a trick there. 13. Unlucky. Okay, the next one is another one that I adore and that I was thinking of doing first. It was very difficult for me to decide which one to do first in this book because there's so many I can't wait to colour. So this cinema house, and we've got a poster for Jaws, a little tiny Jaws poster. Obviously we've got the popcorn machine outside, the ticket booth, and then you've got all your popcorn on top. This is a little jam house. I think we saw that in the contents, didn't we? The jam house, 1983. I'm wondering if that was the year that Carla was born. Maybe that's a little thing that she's put in there. I don't know, probably not. I just overthink things, as you can tell. But yeah, we've got a little, I guess this is like a jam cooking pot. I don't know, I've never cooked jam, but I'm going to go with it and say that it is. We've got raspberries, blueberries, cherries and strawberries. So take your pick on whatever flavour you like. This one is an award. So we've got an award house. We've got the 1, 2, 3 for the gold, silver and bronze. And you can see the window and the balcony here at the top of the award. There's a window at the bottom and there's also windows in the award stand as well. So yeah, it's a good one. It's not one I would rush to colour immediately, but it's nice. This is the, oh, what do you call these machines? One-arm bandits. I don't know if that's what you call them in the US, but in the UK we'd call them a one-arm bandit. And yeah, these are the kind of machines you'd find in the casino or in your local pub. And you'd chuck a quid in there and try your luck. I never know what the buttons do. I can't get head nor tails of the actual process of one of these machines, so I just put it in and I smash some buttons. But yeah, would I like to live in one of these? I think it would be very, very noisy, so probably not. Now, this is the one that I've done. So I will show it to you out of the glare, because I always get a blooming glare from the light. This is obviously the one that was pre-coloured, and this is the one that I've done. So I did try and stick to the palette as much as possible, but I did colour it in my own style. So I've made sure that there's lots of contrast, juicy highlights, very vibrant colours, and I had a load of fun colouring it. The only thing I didn't have fun with, and this is where it comes to my only bad thing to say about this book, is the paper, the binding is glue bound, so they pop out, which is really, really annoying. You can see that I've had to tape this together front and back to make sure that it stays on, otherwise this will just pull out. Now, if you are somebody who does remove and pull out your illustrations from the book, you'll love this because it's so easy to pull them out. But if you're not, you will find that frustrating. As you can see, the next page is already coming away. You know, I've barely touched it. And that's just from having it open flat while I was colouring this page. So yeah, that's the one thing that's annoying about the book, which is super annoying because the paper's really good quality. It's very thick. Let's do a ping test. So it's really thick. It's not bright white, but it's not like an ivory. It's not like a creamy colour either. It's more of an ivory white. It has a nice tooth to it. And yeah, it's great paper. It's more like a cardstock, but that's just really let it down for me, unfortunately. So this is the cake house, the bakery house, 3-tiered cake with all the candles and all that jazz. And you could colour this for someone's birthday, give it as a gift, that might be nice. Here we've got the teapot house that looks a little bit cracked and looks abandoned. I don't know, it doesn't really. I think it's just that crack that's making me think that, but I would love to turn this into a spooky, what do they call it when a house is left not abandoned but like decrepit? I would love to turn this into something spooky because I think it would work. I would turn this into like a moon behind it and have all those light things and reflections going on. I don't know what I'm talking about, probably can't achieve it, but it's what I see for that page. Love this one. Loads of bright colours, very tropical, very summer. It's the Coconut Shack. It says Aloha Beach, Relax, Reef, Boulevard, Drinks and Bar. Now, I'm a non-drinker, but who wouldn't love to live in a coconut bar in a tropical climate somewhere? Absolute bliss. Then we have the alarm clock one, I guess this is, and you can see inside of the house this time, so it's not just the front door and the windows and the kind of facade. We get to see inside of the clock house, so we've got furniture to colour in there and lots of different things. Then we have this seashell house, which is obviously underwater. It's giving SpongeBob, it's giving that kind of vibe. I hate that phrase, it's giving. I tend to use phrases like that, ironically. So if a phrase will come out that everyone's saying and it's really ridiculous, I will just use it day to day, but in an ironic way. So if you hear me say anything like that, believe me, I know it's cringe. It's just, I make it part of my vocabulary because I find it ridiculous. Anyway, under the water shell house. Then we've got the hotel made of suitcases. So these ones are standing upright and these ones are lying on the back. And again, it's just so much fun. You've got stickers all over them. And yeah, I don't think I'd have a problem colouring any illustration in this book, to be honest. They're all fantastic. Finally, we've got the phone plaza. So this is one of those older kind of built-in telephones that you might see a while ago. I don't think I've seen one of these for years. But again, we get to see inside of the house. We've got a dog and a cat, a fish and a bird, and a cactus. So yeah, I think that's the last one. Yeah, it is. So here's a little author's note from Carla. She's saying she's taking you on a journey through her fantasy world filled with magical little houses that have created so much joy. Each one started with something small and everyday, like a jam jar, a lipstick, a teapot, or even an old jukebox. And the moment she spotted these objects, her imagination kicked in of how to make it into a tiny house. So yeah, that's a little bit about Carla there as well. And then we've got that foldable French flap on the end. And that is the end of the book. So I will leave a link in the description. Hope you love it. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.